Welcome to the virtual meeting presentation for I-90 Exit 46, Elk Creek Road Interchange Relocation. I'm Jenica Wilcox with FHU, a transportation engineering company located in South Dakota that has been hired by South Dakota Department of Transportation to conduct the design of the I-90 Exit 46 interchange in Piedmont, South Dakota. During this presentation, you will learn more about the project design process. This entire presentation will last approximately 30 minutes. A PDF of this presentation is also available on the SDDOT website if you'd like to go back and review certain information more closely. The purpose of this online public involvement meeting is to involve the public in the design process. We would also like to share with you the project scope, what the current design layout is, and the schedule of the project. Once you've had a chance to review the presentation, please take a few minutes to provide any comments to the project team. The proposed project is approximately 2 miles in length, beginning on the north end at the newly reconstructed Exit 44 to just north of Exit 48 on the south. The project will also include the realignment of Elk Creek Road and adjacent roads in the area. The interstate was originally constructed in 1959, and Elk Creek Road was constructed in 1957. Traffic volumes and vehicle types are used to establish a baseline for what type of facility is needed to handle traffic now and into the future. For example, the number of lanes, width of shoulders, as well as the surfacing types and thicknesses are all determined by the projected traffic volume and truck percentages. I-90 is expected to carry 20 to 25,000 vehicles per day, while Sturgis Road is expected to carry 2 to 4,000 vehicles per day in the future. The level of service findings indicate no substandard freeway or ramp conditions, although the existing interchange configuration has operational and safety concerns at nearby intersections. Crash data is used to identify potential safety hazards. Reported crashes show minor concentration at the Sturgis Road and Elk Creek Road intersection. There are not any significant correctable patterns noted in the project area. We do welcome public input regarding safety concerns witnessed in the project area. Road deficiencies are based on current design standards. Traffic volumes and speed of the traveling public drive design standards. The purpose of this project is to preserve the transportation asset, improve the reliability of the transportation system, and enhance the safety and mobility of the traveling public along the I-90 corridor and local roads in the vicinity of the I-90 Exit 46 interchange. I-90 Exit 46 is located at Elk Creek Road near the cities of Piedmont and Somerset in Meade County, South Dakota. The traveling public includes pedestrians and bicyclists, as well as vehicular traffic. The I-90 corridor serves local commuting residents as the primary connection between Sturgis and Rapid City in Meade County. It is also used for interstate and interregional travel and to transport goods. Areas near the interstate have been the setting of recent population growth and land development, which is expected to continue in the future. Much of the recent development has clustered around the interchanges. In addition to these general needs along this segment of the I-90 corridor, the specific needs of this project are design geometrics. There is substandard spacing between the Exit 46 ramp terminal intersections and adjacent frontage roads, local access intersections, and an at-grade railroad crossing. There is limited sight distance at ramp intersections and off-ramps due to horizontal and vertical curves and bridge skew angles. The existing interchange configuration does not meet current SDDOT road design standards for turn lanes on Elk Creek Road, sight distance, taper rates, control of access spacing, clear zone, shoulder width, and horizontal curve radii. Insufficient distances between the service roads and mainline I-90, skewed intersection approaches, poor vertical sight distance over the Exit 46 bridge, and poor turning radii for large vehicles have been identified as contributing factors to crashes in this area. Structurally, the Elk Creek Road Bridge over I-90 was constructed in 1957. The bridge is functionally obsolete due to its narrow width, insufficient span to accommodate the widening of mainline I-90, crossroad skew angle, and sharp vertical curvature. Traffic operations along I-90 at the Exit 46 interchange and adjacent service roads are inadequate due to the lack of auxiliary turn lanes at the Exit 46 ramp terminal intersections and Elk Creek Road. Future traffic volumes warrant installation of turn lanes on Elk Creek Road and the ramp terminal intersections based on the SDDOT road design manual criteria. Future traffic conditions indicate a need for 3 lanes of traffic in each direction along this segment of I-90, but current infrastructure restricts future widening. The at-grade railroad crossing on Elk Creek Road restricts efficient traffic operations in the vicinity of the interchange. For bicycles and pedestrians, Elk Creek Road crosses I-90 at a desired location for pedestrian and bicycle travel, connecting residential neighborhoods east of I-90 with residential, commercial, and institutional uses west of I-90. However, the existing interchange configuration and surrounding infrastructure does not provide adequate pedestrian and bicycle facilities and/or access. Pedestrian usage of the existing Elk Creek Road Bridge over I-90 is currently prohibited due to the narrow width and vertical curvature. The proposed improvements with this project include widening I-90 for future growth and replacing the Elk Creek Road structure over I-90. We will improve current deficiencies noted through the project area on the previous slide. The I-90 proposed roadway will include the standard 60-foot median in the ultimate condition to meet clear zone requirements. The interstate will be graded for an ultimate 3-lane section. However, only 2 lanes of pavement will be constructed with this project. Through the town of Piedmont, the interstate will shift approximately 21 feet to provide separation between the current frontage road and the interstate. This will allow for necessary safety and drainage improvements through this area. Elk Creek Road proposed roadway will include a 3-lane roadway section with 2 lanes in each direction and a center 2-way left turn lane. There will be a 10-foot shared use path on the east side of Elk Creek Road to connect pedestrians and cyclists across the interstate. Spring Valley Road will continue to provide 2 lanes as it currently does. I-90 will be constructed for 2 lanes in each direction through the extent of the project, with single-lane exit and entrance ramps to Exit 46 Elk Creek Road. Elk Creek Road will be realigned as a 3-lane roadway, and the other connecting roadways will remain as 2-lane roadways connecting into the new Elk Creek Road. As indicated on the slide, there will be a new 10-foot multi-use path provided along the east side of Elk Creek Road. Anytime SDDOT reconstructs a roadway, they evaluate access management. The purpose of access management is to ensure there is safe, efficient ways to access highways, not only now, but in the future as traffic volumes grow and developments get more dense. Studies have shown that by controlling the access of vehicles to highways, accident rates are decreased. Existing driveways will generally be left in place except where they can be combined with another driveway or eliminated if they are not being used. The goal is to reduce the number of access points along the route, thereby making the route safer. If there are proposed changes to accesses, this will be discussed during the landowner meetings. While always a difficult subject, design will work with the property owners as best we can to come up with solutions. The existing right-of-way on I-90 varies depending on location within the corridor, from 240 to 400 feet. Elk Creek Road is a typical 90-foot right-of-way and will remain as such with the need for right-of-way purchase as part of this project. Temporary easements are necessary whenever the construction work limits are outside of the right-of-way. Temporary easement allows construction to occur on your property during construction of the highway. The red dashed line represents the limits of work, and when this line is near or outside the right-of-way line, temporary easements will need to be obtained by the state. Right-of-way and temporary easements will be discussed in more detail during individual landowner meetings, and more information on the right-of-way process is available from the state. Encroachments are private property located within the public right-of-way. To receive federal funding for highway projects, the state is required to ensure that all encroachments have been removed from the right-of-way prior to letting the project. Some examples of encroachments are signs, landscaping, buildings, fences, and other improvements. Trees are not considered an encroachment, but as noted earlier, will be removed from within the new right-of-way limits during the construction primarily for safety concerns. There should be very few encroachments on this project. The area office will be contacting those property owners to discuss encroachments. There will be a need for some utility relocation. If there are proposed changes to utilities, this will be discussed during the utility meetings. The identified utilities in the project area include Montana Dakota Utilities, Vast Broadband, CenturyLink, Mid-Continent, Black Hills Power, SDN Communications, WBI Energy, as well as City of Piedmont. This project will comply with all state and federal environmental regulations. Other agencies involved with the project include the South Dakota Department of Environment and Natural Resources, South Dakota Game, Fish and Parks, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and State Historic Preservation Office. Resources being investigated through the extent of the project include historic and archaeological resources, noise, wetlands and stream channels, water quality, threatened and endangered species, environmental justice, contaminated materials, floodplains, bicycle and pedestrian trails and recreation resources, and socioeconomic resources. There may be impacts to wetlands adjacent to the project. No other impacts are known at this time. Currently, there are 4 reports underway, including the Wetland Delineation Report, Cultural Resources Report, Contaminated Materials Report, and the Noise Analysis. There may be impacts to wetlands adjacent to the project. No other impacts are known at this time. Now we will step through the preliminary design of I-90 Exit 46. This slide shows the layout of the proposed offset through the town of Piedmont. With this separation from First Street, we are able to improve drainage and safety through this portion of reconstructed I-90. Currently, it is planned that the existing barrier adjacent to First Street will stay in place and serve as a barrier along the west extent of the project, with the exception of isolated locations where drainage improvements will be required to existing structures. This slide shows the location of the proposed Elk Creek Road realignment. The new alignment for Elk Creek Road and Exit 46 will be located approximately 800 feet south of the existing interchange. This will allow for improved intersection spacing and sight distances. A portion of Sturgis Road will also be reconstructed as a part of this project. Improvements along I-90 will continue south towards Somerset, ending just north of Exit 48. These improvements will continue I-90 clear zone improvements through the southern extents of the project. This slide shows the location of the proposed Elk Creek Road realignment. The new alignment for Elk Creek Road will improve safety by providing increased intersection spacing and sight distance, as well as providing for grade separation of Elk Creek Road over the RCP&E Railroad. The 10-foot path located on the south side of Elk Creek Road will improve safety for pedestrians and bicyclists seeking to venture towards the town of Piedmont. These displays may be reviewed in greater detail on the project website. Traffic will be maintained through the duration of the project. Westbound I-90 is planned to be constructed during the first year of the project. All phases of the project will accommodate the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally schedule during the anticipated 2-year construction period. The construction of the eastbound lanes of I-90 are scheduled to begin upon the completion of the westbound lanes. There will be a necessary Elk Creek Road detour through a portion of the 2-year construction period. Landowner meetings are anticipated to be held this coming summer. The meetings will be scheduled with all impacted landowners. Adjacent landowner discussions might include driveway or access locations or widths, sidewalk and curb ramps, fences, drainage, trees, and temporary construction easements or right-of-way acquisitions. The tentative project schedule is shown here. Dates where there will be additional involvement between SDDOT and adjacent property owners are at the landowner meetings anticipated to be held the summer of 2021, right-of-way acquisition process expected to begin in late 2021 and continue through 2023, as well as the bid letting, which is tentatively scheduled for the first part of 2024, with construction currently scheduled for 2024 and 2025 based on current funding and scheduling. The anticipated project is estimated to cost $37 million. The project team will be accepting public feedback regarding this project until March 31st. To provide your comments, please visit the feedback section of our project website. Thank you so much for taking the time to view this presentation and learn a little more about this upcoming construction project. We are proud to be improving the infrastructure through Piedmont and to be able to adapt to the changing needs of our community. To reiterate, all comments are due by March 31st, 2021.